rogue opinion coming that Dean Henderson is going to lodge Jordan Pickford out of the England squad. Ooh, Illuminati, that's such a shout. I love that.
If some of them can stay up, I think Xhaka's going to be a very important factor of that.
I can't justify it half as much come Christmas and all my predictions have gone horribly wrong.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Red and White Chalkboard Podcast with me, Cormac, and my co-host, Taylor.
Hola.
There we go.
Yeah, back in the room.
Back in the room. Back for another episode, a bit of pre-season fun. Still counting down the days now to the Premier League start date, which is, as of today, 6 days away. I was thinking of the Arsenal United game, which is the main event for next weekend. But next Friday, very exciting. Taylor, how are we doing?
I am unbelievably excited. Pre-season's the best because the optimism is never higher.
Especially if you're a United fan.
Especially if you're not being a Man U fan in pre-season is single-handedly the greatest thing to be ever. Everyone thinks we're back and we're getting ready to, and I totally believe it. We are back, and I for one cannot wait for next week and us to be Arsenal 4-0.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll have a little preview for the next weekend's games, I imagine, before next weekend. But Arsenal Man United next Sunday is the main event, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is.
But on today's video, as you can probably tell from the title, we are going to be predicting the Premier League team of the season. Now, obviously, there's usually however many different types of teams of the season. Sky do one, BBC do one, and everything. Athletic do one, everything in between. But so we're going to, it's a vague guess. So who we think is going to have basically who are going to be the best players in each position this coming year.
I get ready for some outrageous views, I imagine, because I don't know about you, Cormac. I try to think out the box a little bit because you can always get a bit boring with these. The best players are the best players for a reason.
Absolutely.
But also, every year brings a new crop of players who maybe were getting geared up for a major season, and they're one step away, and this season could be the one. So I'm excited to see who we've both got and basically just annihilate each other's opinions.
I think so, and I don't doubt that some of the people in the shorts will be commenting that I'm an idiot, apparently.
Yeah, shout out everyone in the YouTube Shorts comments who keep coming for everything Cormac is saying, and I feel completely vindicated. Poor Cormac can't seem to say anything.
I said Arsenal are going to win the league, which obviously, they're not the favourites, but they're probably top 2, top 3. And God, you think I'd said Burnley are going to win the league.
You think you'd said the Manchester United were going to win the league?
Exactly.
Because I did, and I'm getting away scot-free at the minute. It's incredible. Keep it up, guys. We are loving that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Engagement, good stuff.
Yeah.
There's obviously some more Man United transfer news and other bits and bobs that we'll cover off at the end. But first, we'll do the 11.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it.
So starting off, obviously, goalkeeper. Do you want to start off, Taylor?
Yeah, I will start off. I'm going to start off pretty strong. My goalkeeper of the season, I've gone for Dean Henderson of Crystal Palace.
Okay.
He
had a great year last year.
Had a great year last year. Also, World Cup year. I think, rogue opinion coming, that Dean Henderson is going to lodge Jordan Pickford out of the England squad. He's going to be starting goalkeeper at the tournament next year because he's going to have a fantastic season for Palace.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot. I mean, he was great last year. I think he was definitely around the team of the season, wasn't he, last year?
I've always
Raya and
rated Dean Henderson.
Yeah. He's a great shot stopper. He's up there with kind of top 5 in the league.
I still think he's pretty good with his feet. In another world, he would be Manchester United's number 1 goalkeeper.
Better than Onana.
He just always, when his moment would arrive, get unfortunate with one thing or another. He got illnesses, he got injuries. He just never managed to get that spot and keep it. And obviously, it's when David De Gea was here as well, so it's incredibly difficult to lodge him out. But now we're stuck with Onana, and I would much prefer Dean Henderson any day of the week.
I really like Dean Henderson as well. I think it's a great shout. Very realistic.
Look at this.
I think I'd be interested about the kind of World Cup because obviously Pickford's been such a mainstay in that England team now since 2016, and we were, all of a sudden good. 2016, sorry, 2018. 2016 we weren't good.
No, we weren't.
2018 we were good. It's going to take a lot to get Pickford out of that number 1 kid.
It's going to take a great season for him.
You know what? I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
My goalkeeper, got a bit boring, David Raya.
I knew you were going to pick him.
David Raya, unfortunately. I just think Arsenal do have the best defence, and I think he probably is top 2, maybe top 1 keeper in the league.
You're going to get ripped in the comments for this,
Don't care, I'm saying it, I'm locking it in. He's an unbelievable shot stopper, which is huge when you've got the likes of Saliba and Gabriel. So they've got to get through those first of all. You've got Timber there, you've got Calafiori, you've got Ben White. You can't play them all, but I'd like to imagine Arteta, if he could, he would.
If he could, he most definitely would.
But so I just think David Raya's going to have another great year, another couple of highlight saves, and Arsenal will probably have the best defensive record in the league.
I don't disagree with you. I think
it's one of those kind of easy ones, I think.
Yeah.
I like the Henderson shout, because that's a good one as well. Mine's just boring and safe, which I think might be a bit more of those coming up.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to keep on you. Well, who's your right back?
Right back, I am about to tell you my right back. Bear with us, sorry. We've had a little lack of equipment this episode. But my right back, I have gone for Frimpong at Liverpool.
Ooh, interesting.
I think there's been a lack recently of those kind of really attacking fullbacks in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of since, Robertson's kind of legs have gone a little bit. I think Cancelo would always get quite far forward, but there's been all those la-di-da inverted fullbacks, and we haven't had any of those just kind of attacking work rate high, defensive low rate low fullbacks for a few years now. Mm-hmm. And I think people really like that. Okay. And I think that's going to be really exciting. Mm-hmm. I think that will be interesting kind of seeing how the rest of Liverpool's defence goes throughout the season, because that is probably their weak point. And I think he'll probably end up getting something like 12 goal involvements this season from the fullback position. I'm just quite excited to watch him and see kind of how Liverpool operate with the likes of him, just flying up the wing, and probably Kirk as well, maybe on the left doing the same thing.
Yeah. Did you see what Slot said about Frimpong the other day? He says that he thinks he could deputise for Salah if Salah couldn't play for whatever reason.
Because he plays as wing back, obviously, didn't he, at Leverkusen?
I'm just worried he might get caught out defensively.
I think he definitely will, but I think when you have a centre back like Van Dijk, who has that ability to just sweep up, and you've got the likes of Gravenberg if he has a season like he did last year, it's all good for Liverpool. It's going to be all about keeping Van Dijk and Gravenberg.
It's a Dutch trio they've got going on there, haven't they?
Really nice. Yeah, I think Frimpong.
That's a good shout. I like that.
I think he's having a good year. Taylor, your right back, please.
My right back, I've gone for Tino Livramento.
Nice.
At Newcastle.
Yeah.
Keeps getting better year on year. I think this is the year. You're right. I think in the Premier League there is a dearth of right back attack. Oh, I was going to start it by saying Diego Dallo and kidding, but it's not Diego Dallo. It's Tino Livramento. And again, World Cup year, this is the year he'll solidify himself as one of the best right backs in the league, and also be starting for England at the World Cup next year.
There is, I think, now an opportunity for England, isn't there? That right back position. Obviously, you've got Trent, who's at Madrid, so that kind of, even it doesn't have to play amazingly. That status alone will get you a position in the lineup. But Livramento has been great. I think he was a little bit injured last year. He didn't have too many consistent games.
He does have a patchy injury record, but these are the players where if he can stay fit for a season, he probably will be in Team of the Year shouts because he's very good. He is Man City wanted him. Newcastle told them to go somewhere else.
Yeah, because Newcastle's got signed a player, so they can't get rid of them.
All right.
Yeah, nice. Do you want to go on to left back now?
Yes, we'll do left back.
All right, go on, Taylor. Tell me left back.
I have gone for Patrick Dorgu at left back.
Okay, right. I was like, how long does it take until a United player gets mentioned? And it turns out only 3. All right,
there's not too many of them. That's
go on, give me a reason.
So Patrick Dorgu, I think pre-season he's looked much better. He is so ideal for this left wing back role that Amorim's trying to implement. He has raised the physical ceiling of the squad. Very athletic. Loves a goal involvement when he was at Lecce. Hasn't been able to replicate that yet at Manchester United, but I put that down to the fact he came into a burning fire. He's looked good. He's looked strong. He's looked physically capable. He's looking like he's willing as well, which is important. He's looking willing to get forward and get into these positions. He's also very quick on the back track, so he's able to recover balls when it looks like the counter's happening. He's very quick and able to get himself back into position. I think this is the year he'll establish himself clearly as the primary left wing back for Amorim in that Manchester United squad. And I just think it'll be a good season for him. He's very young, but he doesn't look too raw. I think he could very much hone his qualities. I like his pure qualities that he has. He's a good defender. He's a good attacker. And if he can just get great at one of them, then he would be a good shout. Okay,
interesting. I think it'll be interesting kind of seeing how United's defensive record is.
I was thinking this when I had the pre-season friendly on earlier. Manchester United, one of the only teams where you can have more defenders play 5 at the back and still look defensively open.
Yeah.
Which
I guess as a wing back, you have a bit more leniency, don't you, with that kind of role. So it is going to be a lot more about his ability to get forward and get involved. Who will be playing on the left for United, kind of up front? Will it be Cunha?
That left 10 position will be Cunha.
Yeah. So that will be interesting to see how they were able to link up.
Yeah.
Because obviously Cunha does like to drift in a little bit, doesn't
he? Well, Cunha will, I imagine, drop deep to collect the ball, and then Dorgu will overlap on the really touching that touch line and just putting in lots of crosses, hopefully for Manchester United's new striker, which we'll touch on later on in the podcast. But yeah, that's my left back for you, Cormac. What are you going for?
Another maybe not a boring one, but biased one. 2 back-to-back bias. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Oh, I'm not even against that, though.
I think last year he obviously burst into that Arsenal team, which, as a defensive setup, Arsenal anyway, being able to come in and make yourself a mainstay in that back four, there's something special about you. He's built already like an adult. He's only 18, turning 19 soon. His ability to carry the ball, how strong he is holding off defenders, and the ability to keep the ball. Obviously, at the academy level, I think we know that he played in midfield, and there's been a lot of talk, I think, amongst Arsenal fans especially, is like, at some point, will he kind of go into that midfield role? Probably not this year, with the likes of Zubimendi still being there.
No, he's stocked out there at the
Exactly.
minute, unless you just get really unfortunate with injuries.
That's always a possibility. But I think he is going to come in. He's going to be the starting left back for us going forward. It's been interesting in pre-season. I've seen a lot more of him doing more overlaps, whereas as opposed to drifting in quite as often. He still does that as well, but there's been a lot more overlaps with Fartinelli on that left wing.
Fartinelli,
who, as things stand, is still our starting left winger, which does scare me a little bit. I will be honest. But I just think he's going to have another great year, and then going into World Cup year as well. I think he stands out and makes himself that starting left back for England.
Really? Over Lewis Hall?
Lewis Hall, again, he's had a lot of injury problems, and I think he is probably, maturity-wise, just a little bit behind Lewis-Skelly in terms of footballing-wise. But those two are going to be they're going to be fighting for that left back position together, which is, good problems to have, isn't
absolutely.
it, as an England fan.
Let it be known that at this point, Cormac has more Arsenal players than I do Manchester United players. And
come on now.
And then I feel like I'll keep you talking about you going to your first centre-backs. I feel like there's probably an Arsenal one in there.
There is an Arsenal one in there.
Yeah.
I've gone for, so obviously, two
Arsenal. You're going to get shredded.
No, I'm not. Come on, this is very realistic. 2 Arsenal centre-backs that I could have gone for. I've decided to go for Gabriel.
Interesting.
I think, in terms of, so this, bearing in mind, this is a prediction of who people are going to put in their team of the season. I think Gabriel obviously has those goals, that is his ability to score from corners. Obviously, it faded towards the back end last season. I think he had a few. Did he get injured maybe as well?
He did. He had the hamstring injury.
That was it,
him out.
But he can jump so high. He's so strong. He's so physical. And people love goals as stats. People love stats, and goals is the ultimate stat. So I think people will look at that as well. And I think Saliba as well. He's kind of coming into his prime now, really, as a centre-back. Yeah. He makes defending look so easy and so comfortable. I don't think people really appreciate how good he is. Like, he sniffs out issues before they become issues. His ability to do recoveries, even some recovery tackles that I need to do. Whereas Gabriel, I think, does a lot more kind of defensive actions in terms of when it comes up to like interceptions or tackles, where Saliba's positioning alone is enough. His aura, he gives off an aura, which I don't think people will recognise as being quite as sexy.
Well, it's a good discussion, because on the note of that, if I looked at who I put in my centre backs, I went for Saliba as one of my centre backs. So it's a good way to carry on the discussion, because the way I see it is that Gabriel allows Saliba to be the best version of himself, whereas if Saliba's by himself, he doesn't look anywhere near as good as when he's next to Gabriel, whereas Gabriel looks good standalone.
Interesting.
Like, I think if Saliba wasn't playing, Gabriel would still look good.
Who do you think is a better centre-back out of the two?
I do think Saliba.
Yeah.
But then it's the traits of the person of Gabriel, which I appreciate in terms of he does strike me as that leader. He also strikes me as the organiser of the defence. Very important in a partnership when you have that.
It's so funny, Gabriel, because when he first came in, I was like, God damn it, we've got another bozo gene. He was just very erratic.
It's that hair transplant man. It's turned him into a new bloke.
He's completely changed his life.
Yeah. And he's now one of the best centre-backs in the world.
Yes, he is. Saliba and Gabriel are the best centre-back partnership.
Yes.
The best two centre-backs. But I haven't picked them both because that would be very boring.
Yeah.
And what I've done instead, I've really pushed the bite out for my next pick. Virgil van Dijk.
Wow, who'd have guessed that? Who'd have seen that?
Really boring back five, guys. I can only apologise.
I don't think we need to talk about Van Dijk that much.
No, he's the best. He's the best defender in the world, best centre back, maybe in Premier League history. There's definitely conversations for that.
Nemanja Vidic did win Premier League Player of the Year 2 times. So
did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You not see that video on the overlap where he's like, "I was PFA Player of the Year," like once, at least once, maybe twice. And Gary Neville was like, "Oh, in the team." He goes, "No, the actual main award, best centre back in the Premier League history." Virgil van Dijk, don't come chat to me until you're holding two
trophies. I would pick Van Dijk over Vidic, in my modest opinion.
Guess what? I wouldn't. Shock.
But yeah, Van Dijk, best in the league. I think if he can stay fit, that's absolutely huge for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But is he 34 now?
30, yeah, he's 33.
He's turning 34
Looks great for it.
He is.
Yeah.
You know what? He looks like a footballer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just has that.
I guess if he did anything else, like if he just worked a standard office job.
If he was a postman.
Yeah, like, imagine if you rocked up to your 9 till 5 and you saw Virgil van Dijk. I wouldn't get anything
done.
I'd just be staring at him all the way. He's like, who's this glorious man?
What a handsome bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, very boring, but I think he's just that good.
Okay.
Taylor, what's your
my other centre-back choice is ding, 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 ding. Lenny Yoro. I've gone for the Yoro-Saliba partnership, which I would anticipate would be France's starting centre-back partnership at the World Cup. This guy's really good. Honestly, don't sleep on Lenny Yoro. I know I go on and it's all like, ha, ha, ha. He loves Man U, he loves the players. But this guy's actually... Manchester United don't buy great players a lot of the time, especially in recent memory. We've wasted a lot of money on a lot of useless players. Yeah. But Lenny Yoro actually genuinely looks like a player who could be at Manchester United for many years and develop into a fantastic centre-back, someone who leads defence, organises the defence, and also has just an overall great skill set. He's great in the tackle, great in the pass, he's comfortable on the ball, super chill. Like he's top. He's top. And I wouldn't be surprised that in a few years, Real Madrid are sniffing around him again. He strikes me, unless we get really good, that he would be seeking to get somewhere. I think he's that good. I don't look at many players in our squad and think they could be leaving to go on to... I never even thought about Garnacho. If he got really good, I thought he probably would stay. But I do see a world where if Lenny Yoro continues how he is developing, unless we get as good as he gets to, I would imagine he'd be looking for a new challenge, which is why we need to get really good really quickly, because we need to hold on to these players.
How old is he now?
19.
Yes, he looks young, doesn't he? He's very...
No, but he's come back pre-season. He looks a bit bulkier.
Has he got a bit of weight on?
He looks
like he was very slender, wasn't he? He's a tall guy.
Yeah. I really like his profile alongside the Aiden Heaven and then Harry Maguire in the middle. I like that, and I hope they can kind of build that partnership up. But him on that right centre-back spot, he just always drifts out, receives the ball and looks for the switch of play, and I appreciate that because it's one of the few ways Manchester United could attack in the future successfully. So I'm excited for his season, providing he stays injury free. I think he
kind of came into the squad towards the end of last season, didn't he?
No. I think he joined. He had a metatarsal injury. It kept him out for the first 2 months, and then he came in, and then very much he had that devastating day at Southampton. Funny enough, where their winger Sulemana just absolutely ripped him a new one, and everyone's like, what a bozo you bought. But he looked like he went away and really thought about that lesson, and he's come back much stronger. I haven't seen him have a day like that since. He seems like a really nice guy as well. He lives with his mom and everything. And no, I read an article about this. He seems like a really sound geezer.
Okay, well, that's always
really
nice.
Well. He seems like he can handle the pressure of having to play for Manchester United. Which,
that's good.
Again, we don't have lots of them, so I've gone for Lenny Yoro.
All right, nice. All right, well, that completes the back five then. Going into midfield, we've gone for 4-3-3s here. Have you got a defensive midfielder, Taylor?
I have got a defensive midfielder.
Would you like to tell me who that is?
Yeah, I've gone for the Ecuadorian big boy Moises Caicedo.
Interesting. Yeah. I think that's very fair enough.
Yeah, I hate it because it's Chelsea and I literally...
105 mil, was it?
No, but he's one of these players where it costs a lot of money, similar to Rice, where actually if they perform, no one really gives a... And also, it's good for midfielders because if you buy a striker for 100 million, there's a tangible... thing you can pin them against, which is how many goals do they get? Do they get you lots of goals? Do they get you £100 million worth of goals? Whereas a midfielder, it's really difficult to pin a midfielder down to their goals, especially a defensive midfielder. He is just really good. He's very comfortable on the ball, fantastic in the tackle, got a bit of a strike on him. He's just an all-round midfielder. He's one of my favourite type of players where I hate players who are 6 out of 10 at everything. He seems 8 out of 10, and that's why he's worth 100 million.
He's incredible. I think he is really, really good. He is... Other than Palmer, I think he's the most important thing in that Chelsea team because he allows Fernandes to do what he needs to do. He allows Palmer to do what he needs to do. Chelsea have so many defenders, but obviously Colwell's now out for 8-9 months with an ACL
most of the
injury.
season,
and he's so important for them. Nice. Taylor opening the can right next to the microphone in case you guys
can hear
it. Very safe pick.
Yep.
My DM, my first kind of a lot more interesting pick. I've gone for Granit Xhaka.
No way.
I've gone for Granit Xhaka
Mate,
to make it into team of the season.
Explain yourself.
I think if Sunderland, this is a big if Sunderland can stay up, I think Xhaka's going to be a very important factor of that.
That's a good way to look at it.
And I think he will be rewarded for that by getting put in the team of the season. Now, that's no mean feat. Sunderland, I mean, they've actually done some quite good business, and they do look like...
We like their business,
We like their business a lot, and I think Xhaka is an unbelievable signing, really. I gave him a bit of a hard time last week.
I do kind of hate that they paid 20 million for him.
As in what? That's a lot.
I think that's a lot.
I don't know if it is, based on how he was at Leverkusen.
No, it's just... I appreciate it because it brings something that you can't buy with other transfer strategies of other clubs who come up. So other clubs will look young and spend 20 million on a geezer from France and hope. But what he doesn't have is Granit Xhaka's experience.
Exactly.
Of various, won the league in Germany, obviously did all right at Arsenal, I guess.
Yeah.
For some parts.
Mixed bag. Yeah, but I think
I think
he's going to be really interesting. I think people forget as well, because obviously the latter part of his Arsenal career, we were a very much ball-dominant team that had a lot, but his defensive actions were always very solid. He hasn't got the legs as he had when he was like 26, obviously, but he's still got that ability to kind of sweep around the back. His passing's always been excellent. I think he'll be really important when it comes to kind of looking for the outlets for some of the Sunderland wingers that they have. And I do think that if they do stay up, which I don't have them to, but I think that it is possible, he will be a very large factor in that, and I think he would be...
I like that. That's a great shout, Cormac.
Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that. A little bit interesting. Right, next midfielder, centre midfielder.
I'm going to go for the first one where we've picked the same guy.
Okay.
Adam Wharton.
Yeah, I've gone for Adam Wharton as well.
Yeah, he's cool, isn't he? He's good, isn't
he is good. I think there is a big asterisk here. If he can stay fit.
Yeah, of course.
Because he did really...
Actually, I'd probably put that asterisk against every single person I'm going to say.
Yeah, but extra big asterisks against Wharton because he did struggle a lot last year with injuries.
World Cup year, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
I think he's probably, realistically, probably will be his last year at Palace.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Well,
depending on the season.
Rumour ding 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 is that Manchester United, alongside exploring a deal for Carlos Baleba, their fallback is to approach Crystal Palace on the terms. Although there's a gentleman... No, it's not. That's less likely than Baleba.
Yeah, Baleba's going to be difficult anyway.
Yeah. But love Adam Wharton. So good. Really just a great midfielder. Yeah. Like that. Would like to see him in that England squad next year, going to America for the World Cup. He's just... In a Palace team which haven't strengthened, but don't feel like they needed to strengthen so much for what they've got ahead of them. Obviously, they need more numbers just because of European competition.
Absolutely.
But he's good. You know, it's almost hard for me to describe why I think he's good, but I just know he's good.
He is. He's got an aura. He can use both feet. He can pass unbelievably well.
So tidy.
Tidy. He's quick. He's strong. He's got everything you need in kind of a central midfielder, really.
Can pass. Yeah, we like it.
And I think he's can only get better really this year. I'd really like to see him take that next step. I just like him. He does backflips as a central midfielder.
That's huge.
Which is kind of woke nonsense.
Yeah.
But go on, Taylor, who have you got in the cam position?
I've actually gone for this one's caveated though. I've gone for Eze.
Okay.
Caveated with he moves to Arsenal.
Interesting. Okay, so this is. Which, again, that looks quite tricky if that's going to happen. But if he does move to Arsenal, you're saying he's going to get a team this season. All right.
So rumour had it that his release clause was due to expire probably last week. But other rumour has it that release clause still is there, and that if Arsenal were to pursue a deal, they would want more favourable payment terms, so would look to offer a little bit more than that release clause just to secure better payment terms over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
If Arsenal can get that over the line, I just think that's a really great signing for you guys.
It would be an amazing signing.
I think that's what could propel you to, not the Premier League, but to a trophy next year. He has the capacity to get good goals, good assists, also just change stylistically what you've got going on a bit.
We need that extra player to be able to break down that.
You need someone who's going to get the ball and do something with it. Because Odegaard will just, you can't see what I'm doing on the podcast, but I'm faking it. I haven't quite made a decision yet. You have Saka, who will make something out of nothing. Unsure on what the others are, very system heavy players. By putting Eze into that, you have the opportunity to create something out of nothing and get a goal out of nothing, which in the Premier League is huge. In coming up against,
I think this one will come down to the transfer deadline, which is going to be
right to the end. I think he'll recognise as well, World Cup year.
I think the reports that have come out are he's open to the move and he would like to move, but he's not going to force the move.
No,
because he is, which is I think he obviously has a lot of love for Palace.
Yeah. So
but I'd still
that's caveated. So who have you gone for at the cam?
I've gone for Cole Palmer.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't know whether to put him on the wing or put him at cam, but I've kind of put him at the wing here. I think he is Chelsea's best player and is the most important player that really allows them to tick. I think we've spoken about it before.
I think he's top 3 Premier League players.
He probably is. Kind of the ability, when Chelsea dropped off after Christmas, it was when he dropped off. I mean, he was still creating chances there, but it's just as the players around him, Nicholas Jackson, who I don't think is a bad striker, but he's not the most clinical finisher, and his decision making is not great. I think I didn't watch the Club World Cup final because I didn't give a shit, but I watched the highlights. And he was the standout player on that pitch, which is
he's great
with
he's
PSG
fantastic.
and Chelsea. Two of the top.
He glides,
players.
he's top, he gets a goal, he sees an eye for a pass. He's everything you want, and I just hate that he's.
I think if there's a player that's like Thierry Henry's 2003-4 season where he got 20 goals, 20 assists. If there's any player in the league
now
could do that, probably would be Palmer.
Yeah,
maybe
I agree.
Salah as well.
Yeah.
But Palmer, I think, has that kind of ability to. He's such a good passer.
So good,
like so good, and he's clinical. And he is the best thing in that Chelsea club.
Yeah.
By far. Fuck everything else at Chelsea.
Except Moises Caicedo.
We like Caicedo as well.
Yeah.
Go on then. Who have you got in that? Should we go to right wing?
We can do right wing, yeah. We can do right wing. I've gone for Big Brian Mbeumo.
Nice.
Top player.
Yeah, good stuff.
Top player. Plays the piano and plays chess. That gives me an insight into him that he is an intelligent, well thought out person.
26 years old?
26 years old. And also, not only is he good at chess, he's actually very good at chess. He has a very good chess score. Any of you chess aficionados that listen. But not only is he only good at chess, he's also a very good footballer. And
thank God.
Yeah, and like I say, Manchester United don't buy many of those. I think he'll start slow and then hit form. He's top. He's top. He gets a goal, he gets an assist, he runs, he's in top metrics for all the things you want to see.
I really like him.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best players of the summer.
Who do you think has a better season, Cunha or Mbeumo? Solely numbers, let's look at. So solely goals and assists. Who has more goal involvement?
I say Mbeumo because I think Mbeumo crosses the ball a lot. So I think that will help when we have a 6'5" Serbian in the centre who is good at jumping. I think that the assists will. I think they might end up on a similar amount of goals, but I think the assist is what's going to stretch it out for Mbeumo. I really like this signing. He's top.
I mean, it was a great signing, really. It's kind of exactly what you guys
He's one of the best players in the Premier League last season.
He had a great year last year. Did he have, I think, was it 25 goals and assists in the league or thereabouts?
Yeah.
He was great for Brentford.
He was great. And in a world where you could go and spend £70 million on someone in France who's had a good season or someone in Germany to go get one of the best players in the Premier League.
You spend more than that on a player, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, it's not quite. But anyway, to get him in, who has proven himself, not just last year, but actually I think in previous years in the Premier League for Brentford, that he is a very good player who can be clinical and who has a tangible output, will be huge and will go a long way in putting Manchester United top of that table.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, I like it. I think that's very fair. Yeah. I understand that.
Right wing?
Right wing, I have gone for Mohamed Salah.
Interesting. That's not who I thought you were going to go for.
Who do you think I was going to go for?
I thought you were going to go for Saka.
See, I didn't want to pick Saka. Well, no, I did want to pick Saka, but I'd already got so many Arsenal players in there in the back of the pitch. So I was like, I'll try and be a bit more interesting here. I do think Salah is still going to be unbelievable. I know you maybe have different opinions, which we'll touch on in a second. But I do think he's still the best player in the league. I do think Liverpool will probably end up using him slightly differently this year, just based on the kind of how the whole back line, the fullbacks are going to be set up. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just runs a lot less, to be honest with you. He's going to have Frimpong up and down that wing, which is probably good for him. Now he is turning, kind of coming into his mid-30s, which is, as we all know, the death of a football player. But not him. He's still a specimen. He's still an absolute baller. I'm expecting at least 20, 25 goals again from him. God knows how many assists. He's not the most sexy player to watch on the pitch, which is why I don't think loads of people really appreciate him. Like, he's not as smooth and slick, like a Cole Palmer, like a Eden Hazard was as well. But he is, unfortunately, just...
He's pure output.
He's pure output, and you've got to respect that. And I do think Liverpool will be very good again this year, and he's going to have a lot to do with that.
I disagree.
So Taylor has told me off pod. He thinks Salah's going to flop this year.
I think Salah's going to flop, and I have a real tangible reason as to why this is going to happen. Post new contract,
The Aubameyang curse.
It's a thing, man. Final year contract players just do it different. And last year, that was his do it different year, and he was fantastic. Post contract, it's game's gone. I could be incredibly wrong, but I just think it'll be really difficult for him to replicate the output. And just a caveat, I have got a Liverpool player in my attack, and it's not Salah.
Okay, I like that.
I think his age will catch up with him. I think he'll struggle to find the space that he found last year.
There's an AFCON as well.
There's an AFCON as well, and also now he's lost Trent, which he's played with Trent for many years, and Trent facilitated a lot for what Salah was able to do.
True.
I know he did a lot himself, but as he gets older, it'll be harder to do it more by himself. He's losing Trent in someone who created so much for him.
I think it's an interesting take, and like the kind of the curse of the contract year is such a thing.
It's literally I could give you all the reasons ever, but literally I'm boiling it down to the fact he's now signed a new contract.
I think that's completely fair enough.
If he just signed a 1-year extension, he's back in the final year of his contract. He'd probably be in my team. But the reason because he hasn't, he's not in my team.
I like it.
Yeah,
left winger.
I'm gonna go for striker first.
Okay, what is striker first?
I'm gonna do striker first. I've gone for the vibes man, the aura man, Jean-Philippe Mateta. I love this man.
You really love Mateta.
I do love Jean-Philippe Mateta.
You got 2 Palace players in year 11.
Yeah.
I've got them 12. Obviously.
Actually, I've technically got 3 at the minute.
Oh, you do have 3. Oh, God, that's hilarious.
But I've gone for Mateta. I want to get Mateta on the back of my shirt for Manchester United, despite him not even playing for Manchester United. I just like him.
Long sleeves,
prime age,
shaved head.
He's the type of player who will just get better. He's like 29.
I think he's even like, is he 27, 28?
Yeah, I was going to say 28, and I thought I'd go up. But I think he'll get 15 Premier League goals, everything good that comes from Palace this year. If they finish 11th instead of 12th, and Jean-Philippe Mateta scored 15 goals, he's in my team of the year.
Yeah, I love Mateta as well. I think he's a great player.
I can't believe no one signed him.
It's interesting because there hasn't been any real. Like, there was some rumours kind of leading into the transfer window towards the end of the season. Obviously, Man United wanted a new striker, and he was definitely one mentioned. But there's not really been anything there, has there?
No.
Is he just a Palace man? He might be.
I don't even think it's a Palace man. I just think clubs now want to go younger with who they're signing. And just for whatever reason, no one's thought, why don't we just guarantee the league and sign Mateta?
There it is.
Yeah. Look, I think if Arsenal had Mateta, you're winning the league.
I think Mateta would have been a really interesting signing.
Yeah, 100%.
I would have really liked
and also, he would... I think he dovetails so much more with like a Havertz and stuff as well.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Gyökeres is an entity in itself, and I don't think him and Havertz can operate in the same environment.
Funny you mention Gyökeres there, Taylor.
Okay.
Because it's my striker.
No way.
I've gone for Victor Gyökeres.
I think I'll just do the rest of this pod from a different room, to be honest.
Sorry for all the video watchers. That was awful. I think Arsenal are going to win the league. And I do think if there is a player that, kind of in the front line, there needs to be an Arsenal player in the front line. And I know I think I've said it on pod. I don't think he's going to get more than 12 goals, but I think he's going to be so key in that Arsenal front line. I really do think he's going to have that. He's going to have 20 to 25 goal involvements, and not just that, his ability to move off the ball, his pressing. I know that's not exactly the sexiest stuff, but he's a big boy who's going to be a handful for a lot of defenses. And I wanted to sneak an Arsenal player in there, which wasn't boring. I was going to pick Haaland, but I was like, that's dull.
I don't care about that, yeah.
It's funny, we haven't, I don't know what your left winger is yet, but we haven't picked any City players, which is just really funny.
No, I don't have a City player.
Or a Liverpool player. Do you have a Liverpool player?
It's my left wing, and this is going to cause
but yeah, Gyökeres is my striker. Taylor, give me that Liverpool player.
Before I do, I'm just going to say on Gyökeres, I think he'll be so much better for you in the Champions League than he will in the Premier League.
I agree.
I think if he's going to be good for you guys, he's going to be in the Champions League, and I think he's going to struggle in the Premier League. Although if he'd signed for Manchester United, I'd probably also would have put him in my team.
Yeah,
so it's one of those. It's a double-edged sword. To go on to my left wing, I've gone for Cody Gakpo.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
go on, talk.
Liverpool bought him, I want to say a season and a half ago. Yeah. And I think last year he was underrated.
Agreed.
I think he scored important goals. He's good. He's good.
I really like him.
And he's still young. And I think as Salah's getting older, there can be more onus on Cody Gakpo to step up and score more, do more for the team. I think if Liverpool were to do well this season, I think Cody Gakpo is going to have a huge influence on that. I think him and Wirtz is going to make for really interesting reading, especially as Hugo Ekitike kind of finds his way.
I was going to say, because do you think I like that a lot, and I really like Gakpo.
Yeah,
and I think last year he was underrated. Because whenever you see him in the Netherlands team, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's great,
and it is because he operates on that left side as opposed to down the middle. Do you think he gets enough game time though? That would be the only thing I think.
Yes, I think he starts the season, and I think he starts well enough that he manages to stay consistent throughout the whole season. And I think if Liverpool win the league, he would be in that team of the season.
Okay.
Which,
I like that. I think that's a good shout. Because Ekitike, did he play down the middle? Obviously, he did it last year.
But he's one of these where he plays down the middle, but he naturally drifts to the left and fills that half space. Yeah. But then Gakpo is someone who plays on the left but drifts in, and he's not holding the touchline like a pure winger, like a Luis Diaz, for example, who they've now sold. So I think he will start on the left, and then I think he will drift in. And I think he'll just get on the end of a lot of things. And I think he'll get the end of a lot of passes from Wirtz, etc., and crosses from Salah. So that's how I've gone for
I like that. I think
this is what happens when I prep, man.
No, it's good stuff. You actually make sense. It's good stuff. Right, finally then on my left wing. Again, I've gone for a little bit more of a curveball. I've gone for Ndiaye at Everton.
Ooh, Iliman Ndiaye. That's such a shout. I love that.
I really like Ndiaye.
I really like it too.
I really want Arsenal to go for him.
Yeah,
I really want Arsenal. I think
over Eze. Because essentially, I'm thinking that's like
it would be either or. We wouldn't be able to take both. I think Eze would be number one priority, but I think if we haven't got the ability to go for any other left wingers, I saw some reports that AC Milan were looking at him this
I hope
week.
He doesn't need the Prem.
I hope he doesn't need the Prem.
If Everton do anything well this season, it's
going to come through him. I think Everton are kind of pretty locked in from kind of 13th to 10th. I think I might put them 14th even.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I've already forgotten last week. It doesn't matter now. It's the
history. I put Bournemouth 4th, so let's just move on from that.
I do think he's a serious player. He's Everton's best player by a country mile, especially in the front. Apart from they've got the new striker Barry, who I actually quite like the look.
The very Frenchly named Barry.
Yeah. You think he's Brazilian?
I think I think his first name is like Thierry there, so it kind of redeems him. But if you just call him Barry, then
Big Bazza up top. The Frenchman. I really like Ndiaye. I think he's going to have a really good year. He looked really good last year.
He looked really good against Man U in the preseason friendly last week.
I think he's rapid fast. I think he's right-footed, so he cuts in a lot.
Yeah,
he's not afraid to shoot because he has to, because Everton have nothing else to let them score. And I just think anything good that will kind of that mid-table spark. I wanted something there, and I just thought Ndiaye is definitely someone who's really stood out.
You know, I think I have an interesting story about him.
Please.
In that he was not a professional footballer until he went to essentially like an Instagram football baller event, and he got spotted and scouted for Sheffield United at one of these events, and that's how he got in. And then obviously they brought him from Everton, have bought him from Sheffield, so he's had a really interesting way to the top.
How old is he now? Is he 23?
I want to say he's between 23 and 25.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised that if he was to have the season that you'd anticipate him to have in an Everton squad, which I don't think's amazing.
No.
Someone's going to come in next year and pay 50, 60 million for him.
He is that kind of player.
Yeah.
I think
he's top.
He's really top.
Yeah.
And I do really like him.
It's a great shout.
I thought a little bit different of a left wing option there.
Okay. And then that rounds off our teams, but I'm going to throw in a bit of a curveball because I haven't thought about this either. Give me your manager of the season who isn't Mikel Arteta.
All right. Have you got one ready? Because I definitely don't.
No.
Okay,
so,
nice.
So we're basically going to pick out a manager who we think is going to transform the game, but isn't the team that we support, of course, because, otherwise I would just pick Amarin. Who's going to really take their team to a new height.
You know what I'm going to go for?
Go.
Unai Emery.
Interesting.
He is in the Villa in the Unai Emery competition this year, and I think I wouldn't be surprised. I think Villa will go deep in that, let alone maybe go on to win.
That'd be huge. I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see that. I do. I have a soft spot for Villa.
Yeah,
I don't. They always beat us as well, which is a pain in the ass. But they are. I just quite a lot of their squad. I really like. I mean, speaking of, Morgan Rogers was someone who definitely came to mind when thinking about the season because he's just unbelievable. I think Unai Emery, European success. I think they'll do really well. They haven't signed loads, but they haven't lost anything either.
Yeah.
So same squad. I think another year, good squad. Ollie Watkins is still going to be there. Morgan Rogers is going to be better again.
Yes.
I think they've got Tillemans as well, who was really, really good last year.
Yeah. They've just signed the striker from Nice for 24 million.
I saw that yesterday.
I want to say.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently is very good.
I've seen a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, I've seen good things about it. It's a good buy for a good price.
Yeah.
And he's essentially the John Duran replacement.
Yeah.
Seems like they've brought very smart. They haven't brought much, but that's a good signing. Mm-hmm. And like you say, they've kept their main core of their squad together. Super important. Yep. Boubacar Kamara signed a new contract.
Yeah. I really like him as well.
I said it, didn't I, man? You should have signed him.
I think their midfield is really solid and very good with kind of Tillemans, Kamara, and Rogers. I'm expecting that kind of 5th, 6th position again. I mean, 5th would be unbelievable. But yeah, I'm going to go with Unai Emery, I think.
I like it. I'm going to go for my guys, who I predicted to finish 4th in the Premier League. Iraola at Bournemouth. Last year, Bournemouth probably played some of the best Premier League football
they have
in the Premier
lost
League.
A lot of their best players.
Yes, but they've received fantastic fees for them, and the transfer window is still open for like another 3.5 weeks. They could bring in some really interesting players. I don't think, again, I think the players are the product of the system and the environment, rather than the players are much better and it's bringing the system, it's leveling up the system. I just like him. I think he'd do a top job eventually. So someone will lose their job in the top 7, like traditional Premier League teams.
Amarin. I saw a great comment on one of our shorts the other day, actually. I shout out to, I can't remember your name now, but he said, I wouldn't be surprised, Man United beat Arsenal on opening day, and then Amarin's gone by Christmas. And I could completely see that.
Yeah, 100%. Man U forever live in this fire zone where it could go really well or it could go horribly wrong, and there's no in between. It's the nature of Manchester United. We love it. Hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Iraola's do a top job, and I think then when they do lose him, that's when they get relegated.
Yeah.
But until that point, they're going to finish 4th.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Should we rattle through our final teams?
Yeah, go on then.
List them off. Sorry, but
we've done well here. All right, Cormac, rattle me through. Oh, there you go.
Right, rattling through the teams. In goal, I've got Raya, right back Frimpong, centre backs Gabriel and Van Dijk, left back Lewis Skelly, defensive midfielder Xhaka, centre midfield Adam Wharton, central attacking midfielder Cole Palmer, right winger Mo Salah, down the middle Gyökeres, and on the left Ndiaye.
Interesting.
Please go through your team.
Okay, so in goal I've gone for Dean Henderson, right back Livramento, centre back partnership of Yoro and Saliba. Left back, I've gone for Patrick Dorgu. In the midfield, I have CDM, Moises Caicedo. Centre mid, Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace. And then at Cam, Eze, caveated when he moves to Arsenal. Right wing, I've gone for Big Bry and Mbeumo for Manchester United. Left wing, I've gone for Cody Gakpo at Liverpool. And then up top, I've gone for the ultimate vibesman, Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Yeah, nice. I mean, like I said, these are predictions. These are a little bit more rogue.
Comment. I want thoughts on this.
Let us know your teams.
If you had to pick one of the 2 squads, which squad are you going for? Which one tickled your fancy the most?
We tried to be a bit more interesting. We could have picked Haaland. We could have picked...
No Declan Rice.
No Declan Rice.
No.
We wanted to be a little bit different here, and I think we've gone for a little bit more deep cuts.
Yeah, you got some ones you'd expect to see, some ones, if they do make it, that's awesome.
There's no point us picking all the same faces.
No, it's what it's all about.
I've done some of that.
The best thing about pre-season starting is that you can say anything you want because anything can be true.
Yeah.
And that's
football.
Yeah, that's it. I can't justify it half as much come Christmas and all my predictions have gone horribly wrong. And Joshua Zirkze's on 0 goals, 0 assists.
And he's out for the season.
He's out for the season. But right now I can say anything I want. And no one can tell me I'm wrong.
Exactly. Right, that's perfect. Thanks for watching the Team of the Season there. We are now going to go into just a few other bits of transfer news and kind of pre-season stuff.
Yeah.
The biggest of which, last week we touched on Sesko obviously choosing between Newcastle and Man United. I think we did say at the time, Man United feels like it was his first choice. That has in fact materialised over the last week. He is now officially signed for Man United for 82 million...
65 million pounds plus 8.5 million.
Sorry, that'd be euros.
Yes.
Kind of full. Yeah, so 65. Taylor, give me your thoughts on that signing, because I know last week we weren't so keen on him as a footballer.
Yeah.
I know we've always said kind of throughout this summer that, especially compared to Gyökeres,
he was the second best option. He's still very raw. What are your thoughts now?
So I've used a really scientific way to think about the whole Sesko thing. And I boiled it down to I've completely changed my opinion. And you're thinking, oh, but Taylor, you were so deadly against signing Sesko. In fact, I don't think I've been so negative about us signing anyone in a long time. Why have you changed your mind? Well, the reason I have changed my mind is because I went away and I did some deep thinking. And I thought to myself, I can't be scarred by the past. I can't be scarred by the fact that we 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago spent 75 million euros, exactly the same base fee on a young, unproven striker from a foreign league, and can't be scarred by the fact that he only scored 4 Premier League goals last season. I can't let that get into my thinking.
Why would you choose to learn from the history?
Well, this is it. Well, in many professions in the world, the only way to predict the future is by looking back historically. And in this case, I'm choosing not to do that, and I'm looking forward. I'm thinking forwardly, and I've decided that no, he is going to come in a blazing storm of glory, and he's going to be the guy that breaks the curse because he's 6'5". We have the top crosser in the Premier League from last season, who's now joined us, who will put in many a balls for him to put into the back of the net. He is going to be in a system where he's not expected to be part of the build-up play that much, because that's why we have Mbeumo, Ahmad, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes. He will be expected to just be where he needs to be, and we now have to create the opportunities for him to finish. Hulk Haaland I was his biggest fan, and I still think there's a player in there. I just don't think it's a Manchester United.
I think he would do really well in a foreign league.
And it's come out now that Manchester United are very open to listen to offers. But you know what? I don't think he's going to leave.
Well, have you seen what he says?
Yes.
He's very adamant he wants to stay, and he wants to, which I really respect, by the way.
I really respect
it, because he's had a nightmare of the year, Højlund, in terms of he's really struggled, and I don't think that's always been his fault as well.
No.
I think a lot of it has been just United's inability to create anything going forward.
We could live in a world where Sesko experiences the exact same
issues.
Well,
I was going to say, I can't see Sesko lighting the world on fire. I think maybe he could get, if he gets 10 Premier League goals, I think that would shock me, genuinely. And again, I don't want to wish, anything bad on anyone. And I want everyone to succeed in this world, and I want everyone to happy. There's all fairies, rainbows, and sunshine. But I just really don't see Sesko working out for. I think he would have probably suited, ironically, Newcastle better as a team. Both kind of, on the pitch and off the pitch, with the pressures that come with being a Man United.
Being a Man U is incredibly difficult. You're under a microscope.
It's maybe like it's one of the most stressful positions in the world.
Yes.
In terms of football players,
yeah.
Like becoming Man United's number 9. So much weight on that shirt, and just
PSG wanted to sign Højlund when Manchester United went for him and offered more money. They offered 90 million euros for him. So there's a player in there which just hasn't been able to be. First season at United, I thought he could kick on, and he has just kicked backwards, sadly.
I think he would do really well from going on loan somewhere and just being able to get some goals. I think I agree with you, though, in the sense of I think he will stay, which, again, I really respect, because
I kind of want him to stay. I'm interested in the dynamic that it will create, that if by having Sesko and Højlund, it's interesting as well, because we do have Xerxes and we do have Obi. So I feel like one needs to go.
Well, you still have obviously, people give players a lot of shit for trying to, like Isak, for example. They're trying to leave when they have however many years left on there. The clubs, players are under contract there still. If they want to stay and they're under contract, the clubs can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and also, it's when you leave Manchester United, you're not going somewhere.
It's only, unless you're going to Madrid.
Unless you're going to Madrid or Barcelona. But then everyone's kind of almost looking at Rashford's current move to Barcelona as, obviously Barcelona are a much better team, but in terms of just for Marcus Rashford's perspective on his overall career.
Context is important, because obviously he's an academy guy, and where's he's come from.
But outside of Manchester United, even if you move to Bayern Munich, I'm not saying that's it. I don't personally think this is the English lens I'm looking through.
Yeah.
You're getting anywhere near the levels of what you get at Manchester United, Real Madrid, or Barcelona. So he's going to AC Milan. Obviously, fantastic historical team. Struggled a lot in Syria last year.
Well, AC Milan are they're not the team.
That seems like the team that's coming for him, though.
Yeah, they've come out and said they're interested. Yeah.
But I want him to stay. I want him to battle out. And look, next year, I think if he has a rubbish season for whatever reason, he seems aware enough that he would say, Fairs, I need to go somewhere else. But I truly believe that he thinks that he's got it in him to be a fantastic striker for Manchester United, and he wants to prove it. He feels like I get it, because last year he had to contend with Rashford, who was out of form, Garnacho, who was up and down a lot, but very selfish. Yeah. He didn't, and he's now got the opportunity to play alongside Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo.
It's a new Man United team, isn't it?
It's a new Man U team, a new output, it should be. And he wants to have a chance to prove himself. And Sesko's not going to be ready from the start of the season, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him starting against Arsenal. And, all it takes is if he got 1 or 2 goals in the first 4 games of the season, if he got by the first 15 games of the season, if he stays and he has 8 Premier League goals, all of a sudden the outlook is it's so fickle, the football world.
Yeah, it's so fickle. I mean, we are part of that as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So fickle.
So, but anyway, Sesko's here. Interesting.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Manchester United are not done.
No, I think it looks like there's probably 1 or 2 more.
Yeah,
times.
I heard there's much more activity anticipated, more than probably you would care to imagine, which is crazy to think.
I mean, it's one thing saying that, and obviously something getting signings through the door, isn't it?
They just seem to keep finding more money.
But while we're on signings for Man United incoming, Taylor predicted 4 months ago. Basically stated that Baleba would be a perfect player for Man United. Obviously, it's come out in this last week for those who have seen that Man United are very interested in the likes of Baleba. It looks like it's going to be a really tricky signing to get done, as Brighton are very adamant of keeping him for at least another year. But he's exactly what Man United need in that midfield.
100%. I just want to shout out Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada, and Jason Wilcox for obviously listening to the podcast.
We are very happy.
Watching. We're very happy to have you here.
We'll take investment.
Like
that.
Yes. We're more than happy to be invited down to Old Trafford to see the new team that we helped you create. Yeah. But yeah, Carlos Baleba, like I said 4 months ago, top player, incredibly difficult deal to do. What Manchester United need if they were to succeed in signing him is Baleba to be like, I want to go. Well, can we find a compromise?
You know how much money he's on?
He's, I think it was like 15k.
He's on £12,500 a week, which is a Premier League. I mean, obviously very good. A Premier League footballer, it's nothing. Man United go, here's 50 grand a week. Here's 80 grand a week. Oh
yeah, you can put him on 80 to 100 plus some bonus whatnot. And all of a sudden he's like, wait, I stay here, but obviously Brian will try and offer him a new contract. And then
I saw this morning he's got 3 years left on his deal with an option to extend a year.
Yeah, so contractually he's locked in. Yeah, but he will be very aware of his worth, and also the boat for Manchester United doesn't come along every time. So who knows? Next year, someone might have a good year, or they might pivot and decide they want someone else, and or Baleba gets injured, he has a year out, and then no one's thinking about him in a year.
Sure.
So it's probably now or never. I look at all the other teams. Arsenal don't need midfielders. Chelsea probably would just sign him for the shits and gigs. Liverpool, you could argue they would maybe need a midfielder, but whilst they've got Gravenberch performing as he is,
next year they'll be looking for a midfielder.
Yeah. Newcastle, no one wants to go there. Tottenham, lol. So it seems very much that if he wants to stay in the Premier League, unless he has that eye on a move to Real Madrid.
Yeah. What's his nationality? Who is he?
He's Cameroonian.
He's a Cameroonian.
So Agent Onana
and
Mbeumo coming back in again for another go. Let's bring him home. We're gonna start this now. Bring Baleba home. # bring Baleba home. Triple B.
I hate that so much.
We need him. This is a chance to elevate the squad. It almost like brings us forward a whole nother season in my eyes of the development of the team. Gets everyone even more excited. I'm excited enough already. So if we bag Baleba, I'm going absolutely berserk.
I mean, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Does it happen? I think it's probably
I'd say
10 to 15% chance.
Yeah, I reckon there's about a 25% chance that happens.
25% seems...
It does actually, now I say it out loud.
Optimism is a hell of a drug, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Again, sticking on Man United is really boring for everyone who don't give a shit.
I'm loving this.
But unfortunately, they dominate the landscape. Garnacho is on his way to Chelsea.
No, I would actually say he's not on his way to Chelsea yet. Personal terms between him and Chelsea are agreed.
Yep.
Does not mean that Chelsea are going in with any of the money that Manchester United would think. Look, if Anthony Elanga and Madueke and Nottingham Forest signed Dan Ndoye from Bologna for 45 million, if they think they can get him,
it's at least a 60 million fee.
In my mind, if you get north of 50 million for Garnacho, that is just still quite under market value, but because he's a distressed asset.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're kind of looking at.
I think he's not staying, though.
Chelsea think he's worth 30 million.
I mean, yeah, probably is.
No, he's not.
Not in today's market, but in terms of as a player.
No, he's not worth 30 million. He got, good goal contribution. For his age, he has fantastic Premier League experience.
All you do is slag him off, though.
Probably. But ultimately, I can slag him off for his asset. Like, the asset is different than what my general opinion of him is. And because he's so young, that's not to say that he couldn't turn into...
I don't see him at United, though, come the start of the season, or start at the end of the window.
No, but I think one of the bomb squad, not Tyrell Malacia, but I think one of Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, and Anthony is staying at Manchester United this year.
Sancho.
If it's Sancho, I'm going to be utterly devastated, and you are an embarrassing human being. And come sue me for libel, I don't care. Leave. Bro, leave. No one wants you here. You're the worst signing in Manchester United's history, which I thought would be impossible to break after signing Alexis Sanchez. But you make Alexis Sanchez look like prime Eric Cantona.
Don't talk down on Sanchez.
No, but he was really bad for us. And and also he was getting paid a lot of money. But you're also getting paid a lot of money, bro. But you're not worth this. Just leave. Like, why are you still here? Just leave. No one wants you.
A little asterisk above Taylor's head that says comedic value. There you go. That's all jokes, Sancho. If you want to come on the pod, man.
No, you're not invited. Stay away from us. We don't want you here. Leave. Go somewhere, anywhere. I don't care where. Just not at Manchester United.
Yeah. Why would he leave though? He's got a year left on his deal. He's on $350K a week.
Yeah, because if anyone had an inch of professional integrity and personal perseverance in them, he would leave. He would look honestly at himself and be like, am I worth what I've been paid? Probably not. I would take a pay cut to get solid football. Look, he's not even thinking about World Cup yet. No one's thinking about Sancho going somewhere and getting into the World Cup squad. Leave, brother. Okay, I need to talk about something else.
Yeah, fair enough. Is there any other transfer news that you want to talk about? Because that's kind of the main highlight, especially with United. Is there any other clubs?
I just want to quickly touch on Arsenal and how your pre-season's gone. I saw that obviously Madueke missed a penalty against Villarreal.
Yeah.
And also looked really quite ineffective on the left. Interesting because obviously Saka will just play on the right until he cannot for whatever reason.
Yep.
A question this signing. I want to hear as your thoughts developed on this. Where are you seeing him fitting in this team?
No, nothing's really changed. I can't stress enough how little I think preseason really matters for things like this.
It's crazy. You're obviously not a Man U fan.
No, I've like, it's preseason. Players aren't there mentally. It's a lot about trying things out and experimenting with things. I understand that Madueke wasn't amazing on the weekend against Villarreal. Oh, sorry, it was a Thursday, whatever it was, against Villarreal. What are you doing?
I just realised. I'm cursing it into existence, man. Madueke will score. Remember when Kai Havertz scored against United?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And Madueke will probably score against Man U.
I still think Madueke was definitely going to feature on the left quite a bit.
Yeah, no, he will. Because
but we also had Zinchenko playing on the left against Villarreal. So
probably play better than Madueke.
I really believe in Madueke and his ability to get more goals and assists than who did I say? Did I say Cunha?
No,
Mbeumo. I still think he's got that in him. I'm not worried about that at all. Gyökeres as well. He's basically at that game he was vacant.
No more Kit Kats for Gyökeres.
Not in his fault though, because we just didn't again provide anything. But again, pre-season, I think there's always a caveat with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The real test will be on Sunday next week, which is Man United Arsenal, which leads very well, I think, probably to the end of the episode.
It does.
I think we will probably have another episode out for you guys before next weekend, which will do a little bit of a preview of the first weekend of Premier League fixtures.
Run through
of everything, some predictions. Obviously, Championship has started now. League One going down has all started. But the football season is well and truly back.
Yes. The next time you hear from us, guys, we're back. The season is back.
Absolutely. But I'm so excited. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, we have a fantasy football league, which the link will be for in the description. Please watch it. Bunch of shorts on this channel. There's a link for our Twitter as well, which Taylor's very good at tweeting loads of Man United shite on. Feel free to watch us. Taylor, anything to add?
Nope. Just keep liking, subscribing, listening, commenting, giving us your thoughts and opinions, and join the Fantasy League. We need as many people as possible. And if you win the league, you will get a random mystery football shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Been a pleasure as always, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.